Hello world, hello YouTube land. The weather outside is starting to affect the internet cables because this is going on and off, and as is usual, just when I think I've recorded a video, something goes wrong and it all gets lost in the ether. Maybe it's sent down the road to GCHQ, eh? Conspiracy theories. Oh, I'm so scared of GCHQ. Oh, please don't look at me, GCHQ. I'm so scared of you. But this review is nothing to do with GCHQ. Start page that word if you don't know what GCHQ is. It's going to be about Sherlock Holmes-Moriarty Lives. Fantastic front cover there by Mr. Francavilla. What's his first name? Francesco Francavilla. He's not the artist in the book, but the artist inside the book carries on the atmosphere inside there, as you can see. The artist inside is Daniel Indra, and it's written by David Liss, and I'll go through all this in my review. I just love this book, so that's why I'm doing a review on YouTube. Just to prove the point that I don't like moaning about comics. I like saying nice things about good comics, and this is a good comic. A lot better than I thought it would be. And I'll explain that now in my review from Geeked Out Nation. Right, you ready for it? Here we go. Right, to review Sherlock Holmes-Moriarty Lives number 2, surprise hit of the week. Positives: gorgeous front cover, interior artist perfectly suits the story being told, different perspective from your traditional Sherlock Holmes story, villain's view on how to succeed in life, and fleshes out a character, Moriarty, who was always in the background in the original Conan Doyle books. It's very well written, dialogue's really good, and it's a very enjoyable book really. Negatives: no Sherlock Holmes in this book so far. The bottom line: extremely well written second issue that completely wipes away all doubts I had about the title. Okay, is my review proper. The second issue of Moriarty Lives was a very pleasant surprise indeed. That's not to say that the first issue was bad, because it wasn't. It had excellent art, an interesting main character, and came from an angle that I wasn't expecting. My doubt was based on whether or not I wanted to continue to read a book about a morality-free villain. This second issue wipes away all my doubts, and I'm now strongly on board what is fast becoming an extremely erudite, well-written and intriguing book. How has writer David Liss got around the problem of having a villain as his main protagonist? Simple. He's created an even worse morality-free villain for him to go up against. And this villain's name is Bombastus von Hohenheim, and isn't that a great name for a bad guy? And he lives in a big creepy mansion, complete with satanic pentagrams and an attractive young wife who hates being married to him. And when he's not spending his time incinerating rats with a laser glove and electrocuting dogs with electrodes, he is busy terrorising the local town with his gang of hired goons. The two master villains have ended up on the same battlefield because Moriarty is on the run, presumed dead after battling Sherlock Holmes at the Reichenbach Falls. And with this criminal empire in tatters, he has to start from the ground up. And as he staggers, dripping wet from the falls, he comes across a little town where he's now in the process of rebuilding both himself and his criminal empire. This is where he comes across Bombastus von Hohenheim. The first issue of the series details a confrontation between Moriarty and some local thugs. A woman is murdered in front of his eyes, and he vows to protect her only son. Issue number 2 begins with Moriarty and that young boy named Udo running through the streets pursued by von Hohenheim's thugs. Why did they kill his mother, and what do they want of the boy? All is revealed in this issue. The interesting thing about the book is the mentoring that takes place between Moriarty and Udo, who he now sees as his own personal developmental project. Moriarty is rebuilding, and whilst he rebuilds, he is showing young Udo how it is all done. This is fantastic device created by writer David Liss that allows him to explore the character of Moriarty, and it's all done in his own words. It's like Moriarty has sat down and authored a book called How to Achieve Greatness in the World of Man, because that is exactly what you're getting here, a self-help guide through life authored by Moriarty himself. In this issue, it shows Udo how to manipulate people so they willingly do what they want them to do. He shows him how to read the character failings of people in the streets. He shows him how to defeat thugs in a one-on-one street fight with the use of nothing more than a cane in your brain. And he shows him how to strategize to manipulate your enemies into a position that leads the most vulnerable to your attack. These life lessons are illustrated with gorgeously sketched and coloured panels, and the dialogue here from Moriarty is excellent, so I'll give you some examples. Moriarty on fighting. Watch your opponents. Most people repeat their moves. It means you can anticipate what they do and where they will be. Moriarty on manipulation. You must learn to control others or they will control you. Moriarty on muggers. Men such as these succeed by intimidation, not because they possess skills. I cannot help but root for the man now, and that's after my initial reservations about reading the book from the point of view of a character who has always been portrayed as nothing but the dark side to Sherlock Holmes' light. Moriarty, as written by David Liss, is still a bad person, but he's a fascinating one as well. And in this book, he's helping a young boy to avenge the death of his mother, and also to free a town from the villainy of a bad guy who controls it with an iron fist or thuggery. If you haven't already had the pleasure, then you really need to get a copy of this book. It begins with a gorgeous front cover, full of atmosphere from Francesco Francavilla, and the interior art and colouring by Daniel Indro and Josan Gonzalez is just as good as well. There's a gothic tone to it all, and it's perfect for this wonderful tale that's been spun by the writer David Liss. I'm really surprised at myself. I've been waxing so lyrical about this book, but what can I do? I bought it, I read it, and I loved it. I'm just glad that I finished my review, so now I have the chance to read it all over again. I'm in love. And the rating I gave it was a 9.2. Because I loved it, and if it's a good book, why not give it a good review, eh? I've been such a meanie this week. I've been talking about books and giving them all like 60s out of 10. So when I read a really good book with great art, I'm going to give it a mark that it deserves. I think it's really, really good, and surprisingly good. If I knew it was this good, it would have been the first book I read during the week. It'd been, taken me 3 days to get onto it. And yeah, I loved it. So check it out for yourself. There we go. Sherlock Holmes, Moriarty Lives #2. I'm sure you can get #1 still available in comic book shops by Dynamite Comics. Really good stuff. But I'm off now. I'm enjoy my Valentine's Day. I'm going to the cinema. I'm watching RoboCop. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. See you all later. Goodbye.